Yeah. So without further ado, welcome everyone to Community Call number 26, going in July with our 22nd, sorry, 26th. Oh, I just said a number. With our 26th Community Call. Strong and probably shorter today. At least we'll see. From the product side, we have less updates, but from community side slash next week is Paris. So up from event update side, we do have some news. So, yeah, the weather's nice, summer's hot, and the news are even hotter. So, let's get into it. As usual, this is recorded and will be up on our YouTube. So, if you missed anything, have any questions, first of all, free to reach out to any of us from the team in the chat as usual, but also it will be up on our YouTube. Many of the team are on vacations or offsite events. Um, so development has been a little bit slower in the past few weeks since, it's full summertime. We're still shipping, it's still going, but it's not our usual insane pace that you got to get to know. So yeah, let's get into it. Starting with the product updates, then talking more about community and the campaign, some support, and our events that are coming up in person as well. Oh my goodness. So exciting. So yeah, first product update is some UI and UX updates for all of us to digest. There's a new button on our Explorer page. So the Explorer page, as you know, has been the exact same since Guild is Guild as it is. And we added a little button now because if you were part of many guilds, as most of you are, you had to scroll quite a bit to get past your guilds that you're part of or an admin of all the way to guilds that you're not a part of and might want to join. So to see those, you had to scroll a little bit. So now we added this button that you can switch back and forth between your guilds and the Explorer. So that scrolling is eliminated. So the whole experience is a little bit smoother. And yeah, last time we moved the search bar under your guilds as well. So these like small, tiny tweaks, they probably, I don't know if many of you would have noticed in terms of the daily, day to day usage, but over time, these will add up to make the Explorer a much better experience. More on the look of Guild. We, as you know, every admin, every guild can set their own pictures, their own descriptions, and a bunch of social links, and set their own color for the guild. And that will adapt live to that guild specifically. So every guild in our UI has a unique look, especially if the admins are very mindful of picking a color that fits their brand, their community best. And for our UI to remain more adaptive, first of all, most people use guild in dark mode, but we do have light mode, and so this adapting and of the UI to dim the color towards, being a much more pleasant color than some of the bright ones so it doesn't burn people's eyes out was only functional and nice on the dark mode. So the update here is that now even in light mode, the banner color gets dimmed a little bit, not as much as in the dark mode. And this way, the community icons are popping much more, and the buttons look nicer, and the whole thing is much more cohesive looking. It's not as, um, you know, not that much that it was before. This is also a mild update, but it just makes the product feel so much better. The small things add up. Um, Next thing, off of the UI onto UX. We added a new wallet to support. We already have, as you know, we have MetaMask, the second version of Wallet Connect, Coinbase Wallet. We had Delegate Cash for a while now since they launched. And now we added Nosy Safes and Safe Wallets to this list as well. This is a huge improvement for composability, by the way. If you are not daily users of Safes, I'm here to tell you that one of the struggles for Safe users is that it's not always compatible as a login type of wallet in applications. So it's harder to incorporate in day to day usage. And Guild is now helping that by allowing access to guilds using a safe account. It actually only pops up as an option if you are opening up Guild through the Safe app. That's that way you'll be able to connect your Gnosis Safe. Otherwise, regular browsers, Gnosis Safe is only available through their app, so it doesn't pop up if you use Guild through other browsers. That's a good notion there. And one more update is that we have shipped, uh, it's just from today, very new. We have shipped it before, but we announced it today through Gitcoin, and we'll talk about it more tomorrow publicly on our Twitter as well. Gitcoin Passport. If you have met it in the Linea Guild, for example, or in other guilds, it's been an integration and a partnership in the works for many months. Gitcoin Passport is an open source identity verification protocol that enables communities to build a much more trustworthy and secure ecosystem. How it works is that it uses verifiable credentials called stamps. And from many identity providers, you can connect your accounts, for example, like LinkedIn or Facebook. And these stamps prove a person's identity and build up into a trust score that the more valid accounts you connect, the higher the score will be. And guilds now can safeguard their guilds better. So before you could even do it with native requirements such as wallet activity or account ages and so on. But adding a Gitcoin passport to the requirements, especially with the weighted score, with their default unique humanity score, is currently the highest security option or highest level of security that we can think of at the top of our heads. And of course, you can combine these with many other things on the requirement list, which makes it even stronger, like CAPTCHA and other social verifications. But just as it is, you can say you can only come to my Telegram group if you have a LinkedIn account that's actually belongs to a person. Like that's pretty cool, and that's through Guild. You'll of course need a wallet to like have a Guild account, but otherwise it's a completely connecting Web2 to Web2 apps through Web3 infrastructure. Like that's so sick. Yeah, so in general, it helps prevent Sybil attacks and helps foster more trust within communities. So we're super happy that this is live. There will be a Twitter space on Friday. Let me just say the time 1 second to be very specific about it. It's at 1 p.m. EST or 5 p.m. UTC on Friday. I'll copy the link of the post that Gitcoin posted so that you can see the spaces and save it. When we'll talk about this with their team, we'll go more deeper into the value and the reason for, protecting against Sybil attacks in the first place and how you can use Guild and Gitcoin Passport specifically to upgrade your community. So please join if you have the time. Save it in your cows. Also, one more thing. We have not prepared this, but thankfully I remembered just now. One of our close collaborators and another amazing group of builders in the space, jokerace.xyz, they just released their version 3 yesterday, for which they use Guild heavily in the infrastructure and in the whole process that they promote for communities to deploy these races, which are essentially mechanisms to make any form of decisions from user acquisition to deciding who should come on a podcast or how much do we spend on budget this year or smaller and bigger decisions alike. But what the V3 is that they're removing tokens as the requirements to participate. Very much like the guild model, any social action can be a requirement to then participate in decision making, which is super exciting. And Guild is heavily involved in this, and we're super happy to support the team. So if you haven't, make sure to check out jokerace.xyz. There's plenty of new races deployed. I know Li-Fi you know, Li-Fi. They're pretty big Guild users. We had them on the calls multiple times, I think. They also launched the pin, and now they have a joke race as well. Let me give the link here, jokerace.xyz. So you guys can check it out. There's many races going on right now, and I'd love for you to try. Maybe you'll earn some rewards as well. But the purpose of these is not necessarily, you know, farming out rewards, but actually participating in a community in a fun way and help them make decisions. So you can see all the live races at this link that I just put in the secret chamber. Is the secret chamber open, by the way?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, that was a little detour. I just pulled that out of memory. It wasn't planned. And moving on to the guild, the pins, the campaign, and how that's going, because we've been a little bit silent about it, which I'm so sorry about. There's been quite some confusions on some decisions, but now we're back and reporting and everything. So bear with us while this is happening. A few new updates about it. New communities joined the campaign since we last talked. Arbitrum, Injective, Slingshot, and Polygon at the end of last week also launched their pin. So with this, we're over 13 with communities who have launched their pins, which is crazy. We've been very mindful of doing this super slowly. But yeah, and thank you all the support for the pins so far. Hopefully these communities will benefit from having these building blocks in their community, and you know, you can proudly also wear your rank and the pins themselves in your wallet. I think I really like looking at my OpenSea now because there's at least like guild pins and they're super cute. Reminders of the campaign and joining and just in general. And I hope that the pins kind of transfer more into actual building blocks and a basis for communities, not just for this campaign. Another note here is that the leaderboard is closing soon. So if you want to participate and still haven't claimed one of the pins, there's still time. We'll be back with an announcement on specificities about the leaderboard, when it's closing, you know, and all the other things. So stay on the lookout for that. And yeah, that's about the campaign right now. And I'll give the word over to Hannah to say some things about support.
Let's head over to the support news. We want to touch upon a few ongoing issues we are currently facing on the support front, in this community call. The first one is the Twitter follow requirements, because the Twitter follow requirements are currently not available because Twitter is currently fighting an all-out war against data scraping, and here we are. We got caught in the crossfire of this since they are limiting their API more than before, which causes a lot of rate limits. Most recently, they completely removed the ability to check who follows who through their APIs. So this type of guild requirement is currently unavailable. We just wanted to tell you that we are not really sure about when it will be re-enabled or if it's gonna be at all. So at the moment, the ball is on Twitter's side to communicate about it and, make it available once again. These limitations affect everyone using their services at the moment, like outside of Guild. So, knowing all the circumstances, our devs are working on finding an alternative based on Twitter's updated API. So, bear with us. We will keep everyone updated through our support on Guild XYZ as well as on our Discord's updates channel. So you will get informed. We will tell you if there are any updates, there are any improvements about it, or whether we have any, information communication from Twitter. The second one I wanted to talk about is the connect needed at Discord requirement. So this is the other issue that we are currently working on. Some of you may experience it already, so thanks a lot, by the way, for bringing it to our attention through our support system. It's highly appreciated on our end. In short, there are auth/connect needed to check access messages appearing at Discord requirements. And it happens while not actually having the option to reconnect Discord accounts at the account models, which is causing some troubles because it's stating that you need to connect or reconnect, but you cannot because you do not have the option. But we are currently investigating it, the whole trouble, and will resolve it as soon as possible so that you all can reconnect your already connected Discord accounts. These are the top two issues that are up and that we are investigating and see what we can do about them. And also in this support section, I wanted to also additionally share some team insights. In the past few months, we've been working on a number of substantial updates, development, such as our API version 2, just to boost the overall guild experience. And it seems like we are coming to the end of some developments, while, of course, continuing others. But this way, part of our team will be freed up pretty soon once these updates are out. So we are going to prioritize previously reported issues, such as connecting Twitter accounts on mobile when there is like an unexpected error message, or just, simply verifying wallets. So these are all the things that I wanted to share on the support side. That's all on my end. So let's just move on to the community news.
Thank you. I'll continue with the community news. One is last week was ETH Barcelona, which this is our second year that we're attending. And we got the opportunity that I had a little spot for doing a keynote speech there. And I talked about community automation and how Guild makes it much more seamless and accessible for everyone, but mostly the importance for community automations and the role of roles, which you got a sneak peek of 2 weeks ago when I was preparing, and I gave a little monologue of it on our previous community call. So that was kind of the core idea that I just put in a nicer environment and made it more understandable and fit the time frame that was given, and with a little bit more quotes in it as well. There's a link here if you want to check it out. We uploaded it to our YouTube. Yeah, so it's actually this link. No, Hannah, I'll give another one because we uploaded it to our own YouTube as well. We cut it out of the big live stream that ETH Barcelona was doing. So I put that in the secret chamber as well. If you guys want to have a look, have a listen of the talk, and with more live presence. So as we know, the summer is all about crypto conferences usually, and one of the biggest ones for many years, 6 years now, is the Paris one, EthCC. It's happening next week, which is extremely exciting. And as a team, this is our third one attending. Super exciting. And a little emotional/background story here is that 3 years ago when we went to the first one, that was our first ever crypto conference, and we were happy to even get in the venue, like the main venue, and we only knew about like 2 or 3 side events for the whole week. So it was like a much different experience. It was much more chill versus this time we have the opportunity to give 2 keynote speeches, participate in 2 panels, give 1 demo, and like, just go to all the side events and be invited to many. And we're just so grateful that this is how it's going. I'm personally super happy that I got to see a lot of my favorite people next week in a big bulk, and go to little dinners with them and just like do Web3 Web3 entrepreneurship with them a little bit in person. So yeah, if you any of you are coming, I'll give a little rundown of where we'll be able to meet. I'll also post on Twitter this full list with like links for everything to join. But right now, I'll just do like a short rundown. So if you have anything on your scope, or most of these will actually be live streamed, I think. So we can catch up there. Okay. So the list on the 16th, which is this Sunday, there's two events. One is the SheFi Summit for women, or more like inclusive. I think their tagline is financial freedom is feminine. But they're hosting great events usually at most of these conferences, and they're doing the same this time. And I'll be on a panel talking about, the title is Being a Founder. What? Like it's hard? Kind of like a reference to Legally Blonde. It will be at 4 p.m. on Sunday. And then after that, the Taoist event is also happening roughly at the same location. Lucky for me, I don't have to take an Uber really fast. But at 6 p.m., I'll be talking with a keynote speech at the Sailor stage about activation and retention, or audience to community. Essentially, the notion of converting an audience into community and exploring more of the middle of the funnel, how we can identify member personas and engage members based on their unique interests for better retention and long-term satisfaction. Um, the Taoists are usually pretty interesting events. This is our, I don't even know which one, but like we've been at least to three, and we're always super happy that we always get to talk at one of those, since it's quite core of our audience there. So this time we're also taking the chance and the opportunity. 17th, Monday, we'll hang out at the ETC main venue a lot, and then go to the Chainlink event that's happening later in the afternoon. And then Zarion is hosting Self Custodial. It's more like a party, but we'll be there if any of you are coming. On the 18th, another big day, very, very, most of the side events are actually happening on the 18th. I don't know what was going on with everyone, but we got to juggle time. And along those side events, one of them is Web3 Growth Summit, where I'll be on a panel talking about engagement and community building at 3 p.m. with some of my friends, Jackson Rodriguez, Peter Pan, who many of you might know from Twitter. It will be great. Aside from that, we'll be at the HCC main venue, Broadcasted Babe, which is a new event series. They will have their event, which I'll also be attending, and some of our team will be there. And then, that's most of 18th. 19th, which is Tuesday. This is where the most exciting thing is happening. Is my second time having the honor to talk at the main event of HCC. I'll give a talk at 12 p.m. at the Eiffel stage about community utility. The idea here is that minting an NFT should not be the first step or the only step in community activations, just a part of the larger experience, because that's what we see in a lot of communities right now as a trend, and previously in the last year and a half. And that we can build much more fun, engaging, and retaining journeys for more bi-directional value exchange with members. We really just want to make the internet fun and enticing again, and to motivate builders and founders to add value to their audience's experience through tangible, executed examples in the Guild ecosystem. This way, our individual and group participation can give rise to a greater sense of belonging and can improve member retention, thus conversations and conversions into long-standing members. So that's going to be super exciting. I'm super pumped to speak there again. And then on the 20th, we'll again be around the main venue, and at noon, at the Polygon Guild DevX event, we'll do a demo/workshop in the workshop room about the Polygon ID integration that you guys know really well, that we did fairly recently. And then after another growth people meetup, the Safari Club will be there as well. And on the 21st, we'll attend Modular Summit for a little bit of tech deep dive, and kind of as a cool down after the busyness of the week. So that's about next weekend events. And continuing our community news a little, we have a new little game in our server we got recommended by one of our fellow guilders is a tree. There's a tree we can collectively water. We named it Fern. So the steps are to set up the tree that we can grow in the channels. Oh yeah, dirty Cajun rice recommended. I remember. Thank you. And this is our little community tree named Fern now. And I just want to shout out to make sure that you water Fern. This way it can grow and we can collectively grow on a global leaderboard. And I know some of the Web3 communities are in like top 40 across the world of Discord communities that are watering trees. So I think you can't water it twice in one go right after another. So someone constantly needs to water it after you so you can click it on it again. So it's kind of, you know, if you're doing something on the server, let it be watering Fern instead of a GM for the next like week or so while we're experimenting with this game. It's a really cute initiative. Thank you again for suggesting it. And with this, we're kind of going into our short appreciation section for Dirty Cajun Rice for bringing Grow a Tree to our attention and proposing it. And it's so far we've been having a lot of fun with it. It's a really cute little engagement for us to have. And yeah, that was our last point for today. About the POAPs, I'm hearing that they're going to arrive later that we have for the community call. I'll let Norby fill you in when that is.
Well, I don't really know, honestly. Whenever they send the links, it's gonna be out, but I think it's gonna be tomorrow.
Okay, so everyone be on the lookout for the POAPs as our little collectible to commemorate today. They'll be available on our guild's page as usual then tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Thanks everyone for joining. If you have any questions, we'll hang around here for longer, but as usual, you can reach us on the server anytime. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for being here with us today, and see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye.